But the time right now is really talk to three gentlemen that's involved with some great things, man. First of all, we rock and roll with the Alsco All Fresh National Sales Manager, Ben Terrell, as well as the Alsco General Manager of Alexander branch up there. We got Brandon Dobbs rocking with us as well. But last but not least, man, we're going to have a conversation with NASCAR driver, the number 43 Richard Petty Motorsports, Bubba Wallace Jr. rocking with us. So we're going to start off with Bubba. Bubba, welcome to Sports Shop. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're good, man. How
man,
you been?
Thank you for having us, man. Thank you for having
Not
you.
bad.
You blessed. You hear me say you blessed.
Right. Great song.
Look. You know, we know Bubba, so you don't have to ask us that question.
So, Bubba, before we get started, my esteemed producer told me you went to see the Us movie last night. How was it?
To be honest with you, I could not get into it. I got up and left. I knew it was late, and I got up and walked out.
Was it like that, Bubba? Really, it was that bad, huh?
I mean, there was no like substance. There was no context. Like you just didn't know why stuff was happening. And I don't know. I loved Jordan Peele, and the last movie, Get Out, was awesome. But this one, I like a lot of people were like, yeah, I didn't really enjoy it, and some people were like, you shouldn't have left. So it was kind of 50-50.
Well, K-Mac, you said the same thing. You said you wasn't even going to see it, right?
I started out early, saying I'm not going. I'm not going.
Man, we were rocking with NASCAR driver Bubba Wallace Jr. and Bubba. K-Mac and I, we're probably not the only a few stations that's hosted by African Americans anywhere in the country. So we pride ourselves in that, particularly during the morning drive. How does it make you feel to be one of the most successful African American drivers in the history of NASCAR? Yeah,
no, it means a lot. You know, there's still a lot to be checked off the list, but as long as we keep having a healthy career and keep pushing forward, those things will be checked off in no time. You know, having great people around you, it helps you a lot. So it's a team sport for sure. So I'm excited where I'm at today. Just got to keep pushing the envelope, keep doing big things, and seeing how everything will shake out.
Wow, we're talking with Bubba Wallace, and Bubba, one of the questions I have is, and we've had Richard Petty, Mr. Petty, on the show before. We've talked to him a couple of times. We've been down to Charlotte with him a few times, and racing for Mr. Petty. And I think I saw it on one of your episodes on your reality show, your show. He said, "Just bring my car back." What does he mean by just bring my car back?
It may have been bring his car back in one piece.
There you go. Bring my car back in one piece. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, don't wreck it. We gotta. When you start wrecking race cars, you can't learn from you can't learn from the race. You can't go back and see how your numbers have changed from the race car after the race.
Yeah.
So you definitely want to run all the laps and just get as much experience as you can.
Wow, man. So, again, I said at the top of this interview there, we have Brandon Dobbs on with us. He's a general manager, Alsco general manager of the Alexander branch. And Brandon, I want to get you on what products do you guys offer the Richard Petty Motorsports that you could provide to the average business owner that may be listening right now?
Well, first of all, I want to say roll tide now.
Oh, my God. Hey, Brandon, you are good with us, right? Man, matter of fact, it's a successful interview already.
I'm going to say, where have you been?
You guys want to wrap this up? We good?
Yeah,
no. Unfortunately, we got some other things we're going to ask you, but we are good. Let's talk about that.
Hey, yeah. So for Richard Petty Motorsports, we do automotive uniforms for them, as well as floor mats and first aid kits for their shop, and we have been for a few years. So.
That's really, really good. And I mentioned we also have Ben Terrell on here as well. He's the All Fresh. Like I said, they're All Fresh National Sales Manager and official NASCAR ambassador for Alsco. Unfortunately, he's an Auburn fan, so we're going to give him about 2 seconds to answer this question.
Is he still alive after that game yesterday against New Mexico State?
So Ben, how you doing, man?
Yeah, War Eagle, guys.
Oh!
War Eagle.
Oh, okay.
Not on this show.
So, Ben, I thought I liked you, but, apparently we're getting off to a bad start.
Exactly.
But it's okay, because I like trees, too. It's pretty good. So, man, hey, talking about Alsco, talking about your partnership with Richard Petty Motorsports, give us a little bit of insight on, what it is about, Bubba and Richard Petty Motorsports that attracted you guys to the partnership.
Yeah, well, first of all, when you're getting into the sport, I mean, you want to go right to the top. And, how else to start a partnership than to start with the king of NASCAR? Mm-hmm. And, Richard Petty is synonymous and the most visible person in NASCAR. And then with Bubba, Bubba is just a crowd favorite, one of the most dynamic personalities in the sport. And he's always quick and confident, and our guests love him every time we get around him.
Oh, wow, man. That's really good stuff. Again, we got 3 people on the line. We got Ben Terrell. We have Brandon Divers, both of Alsco. And we have Bubba Wallace Jr. rocking with us of Richard Petty Motorsports. Bubba, have you ever played golf with Ben or Brandon?
I have. It's been a good time. We always have a good laugh. And
wait a minute.
It's very good at all.
he said
none of us are very good.
Oh, he said have a good laugh. So it's just like, so I guess their golf game is not what you would call scratch golf, golf game, if you will.
Yeah, definitely not. That's why we have actual jobs.
He said, we got things we got to do.
Look,
exactly.
When people say, well, I'm a scratch golfer, say, yeah, okay, well, some of us have real work to do.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you, my friend? Some of us have real work to do. I don't know what you do for a living. But, hey, talking about your golf game and besides golf, we're also told that you like to play drums. And this I know for a fact by watching your show, how you just like to get it, like you've been playing the drums and video games, by the way. But talk to us about how you got into playing the drums.
Yeah, I just I think my mom said I was beating on pots and pans since I was 2 years old.
Yep.
So she guessed I knew I had a knack for that. But I think I was actually in 7th and 8th grade middle school band in the percussion side. So fell in love with it there. Had a drum set when I was 11 years old, so right around that time. And just always kind of dabbled into it when I could. Obviously, hectic schedule, and then moved into a new house a couple of years ago. Got my actual first real acoustic kit, and kind of upgraded since then, and still kind of dabble into it. And currently in the process of building a garage out back and building a drum room inside of that. So I'm excited to finally up the program, start recording some stuff.
Can I be in the band? Can I be in the band? I just want to.
Yeah. I got a lot more practice to do, so I'll put you on the list.
But K-Man plays the trombone. I play the keyboards. We got a band right here.
Yeah,
we can make it happen.
Okay, perfect. Let's do it.
Again, we're talking with Ben Terrell and Brandon Divers of Alsco, and also Bubba Wallace Jr., who drives the number 43 car for Richard Petty Motorsports. And NASCAR is going to be in Martinsville, Virginia this weekend at the Martinsville Speedway. And Bubba, I know this holds a lot of significance to you because you won. You went to Victory Lane in Martinsville in the truck race in 2013, the first African-American since Hall of Famer Wendell Scott to do so. And you're going to be racing in the truck race as well as the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup race this weekend. Just what is it? How much does Martinsville mean to you? And just, how do you prepare for racing on a short track such as Martinsville?
Yeah, no, it means a lot. Martinsville is such a special place, because of the history we had there. So excited that I got a call to come run the truck race this weekend and in good equipment. So let's see if we can make it 3 wins in a row. No, it wouldn't be 3 wins in a row, but 3 wins at the Speedway coming up. So the truck race is always fun. Gets going there for 250 laps and just go have a ball. And then on the Cup side, it's a lot longer. It's twice that length, and you go out there. The short tracks is just where you grew up. I remember racing there when I was 16 years old, running late models around there. So just that short track vibe brings you back to home, brings you back to when it all started.
Wow, we're talking with Bubba Wallace, a NASCAR driver for Richard Petty Motorsports, number 43 car. And, I have to ask, because a lot of people are listening and saying, as such a young guy, how did you get into it? You just mentioned that you were racing when you were 16. Every 16-year-old young man in this country thinks that he's a race car driver, whether he really is or not. But talk to us about how did you get the bug to want to be a NASCAR race car driver and just not a car enthusiast?
Yeah, no, I started racing when I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
A family friend of ours invited us out to come watch him. and we got hooked. So we went out and bought a go-kart the next weekend and went racing. And we started traveling. My first race was a national event down in Florida. We don't know why that was, but we went down there and did not have a good race at all. Wrecked the kart, and I asked my dad if we could fix it and get back out there. And I think he knew from then that we would kind of go a little farther than I think we initially had planned. And 16 years later, we're here now. So it's been about 2 years in every series, every car. We'd move up to a little bit bigger car, and at 14 or 13, I was racing a full-size stock car. So just kind of kept following the dream. It wasn't until about 16 I didn't want to. I talked to myself on the grid right before we won the race. I was like, I can't really turn back now. There's nothing, not that I had a reason to at all. So I was like, let's stick it out for the long haul.
Oh man, that's good stuff. I'm bringing some of the marketing people in this route, particularly Ben Terrell, who's at the Alsco All Fresh National Sales Manager. Ben, you talked about it a little bit before, but obviously Bubba being so dynamic personality in NASCAR, that had to be one of the reasons why you guys wanted to link up with him.
Absolutely. You know, Bubba brings a lot to the table. He's a lot of fun to be around, and we know he's going to do some great things in the sport. He's already done really well on other series, and so it's just a matter of time before we all put it together in the Cup Series. And looking forward to seeing him on a short track this weekend, where he's had so much success in the past.
That's a pretty good answer coming from an Auburn fan. Let me segue to Brandon Divers, who Roll Tide fan, my main guy, Alabama fan. I guess Brandon is, of course, is Alsco's general manager of the Alexandria branch. Hey, Brandon, let's talk about in general, in a nutshell, and people listening, they hear a lot about Alsco, but let's talk about what this Alsco is all about.
Yeah, I think we're really about building relationships, and I think that comes from the family atmosphere that we have. We're family, fourth generation family run company, and our branches across the country. We've got 80 plus branches across the United States, and each one of them it's a family atmosphere when you walk in, and we've got good relationships with each other. But it's also about building relationships with our customers. And when we decide we're going to partner up, we want you to be not only a customer for 1 or 2 years. We want you to be a customer for life. I think you guys had a Rob Cox with K&W Cafeterias. We've had them as a customer for over 55 years.
Yeah, down the ACC tournament, we sure did. That was a good deal too, man.
Well, we're talking about Brandon Divers for Alsco, and Brandon, one of the questions I always ask, I love to get insight and get a little background from people, is especially when you get into what you consider to be unconventional partnerships or partnerships that don't, on the surface didn't look like it was a good fit, but this has been an outstanding fit for you guys. Is there anything that, and this is for Ben as well, anything that you guys probably going into it thought you knew exactly what it would look like or what it would feel like, and once you got into it, you just realize, oh my goodness, this is way more than I ever thought?
I would say that when we originally got into it, I think we I guess going back to that building partnerships and it going beyond just a business side, there's really a personal level to it, and the NASCAR community is family as well, and some of the most down to earth people, and there's not many that are better than Bubba when it comes to that.
Yeah, outstanding. I'm gonna ask Bubba the same question. Bubba, once you made it to NASCAR, you signed with Richard Petty, and you got a chance to race on the track. Is there something that you probably thought as a 16-year-old, as an 18-year-old, as a 20-year-old, you knew exactly what it was going to be like, but once you got there, you put on the suit, you put your number on, you start racing, you realize this is totally different than what you thought?
Yeah, no, I think every step of the ladder that I took